Excel 2016, Module 7, pages 432 through 437. I know there's no way you're even going to consider going on with this without reading page 432, 433, and half of 434. Okay? Don't even think about it. You'll regret it later. All right, so on page 434, one of the first things you need to do is you have to plan a macro out. So let's take a look at exactly what we're going to be doing, because it's not enough to click buttons. You got to learn how to do this so that when you do the case, you can do it on your homework, and eventually, as you go out into the workplace, you can do it, right? So Stephen provided you with the following outline of the actions needed for the macro to save the receipt as a PDF file. Number 1, set the range A18 through F37 as the print area for the activity registration receipt range. Create the PDF file and name it receipt. Remove the horizontal centering from the page, remove the print area, and make cell A1 the active cell. Our macro is going to do all of that at once. Okay? Now, when you're recording a macro, it records every single thing you do. So if you make a mistake, it's gonna record the mistake, which is something we certainly don't want. All right, here we go. Are you ready? To start the macro recorder, save the winter activities workbook. If you make a mistake when recording the macro, you can just close the workbook without saving, reopen the workbook, and then record the macro again. If you want to, you could even do an extra, make a copy of the file and name it like winter activities up through page 434 with no macro or something, so that you have that file just in case you completely screw it up. Not that you will, I'm sure. All right, on the Developer tab, click on it. In the Code group, here's our Code group. Click the Record Macro button, right there. The Record Macro dialog box opens. The Macro name box displays a default name for the macro that consists of the word macro followed by a number that is 1 greater than the number of macros already recorded in this workbook during the current Excel session. Okay? Move up to the top of 435, step number 3. In the macro name box, type PDF receipt. Please notice there are no spaces. PDF receipt. And you notice I also typed that really slow so that I did not make any errors. Okay? Now you can press your tab key, please. Now, we assign a letter to make a shortcut out of this. Okay? So in the shortcut key box, type a lowercase letter r to set the Control+R keys as the shortcut to run the macro from the keyboard. Okay? So just type a little baby r and then press your tab key. Verify that the store macro inbox is set to this workbook to store the macro in the winter activities workbook. Okay, so if it doesn't say that, hit the down pointing arrow and make that selection. Then press your tab key. In the description box, type created 12/1/2017, save receipt area, the range, and then as a PDF file. Okay, this is really important because this tells someone else the purpose of this macro. Okay, so you have to type in a description that's going to help somebody else understand what you were doing. What were you thinking? This will tell them what you were thinking. Okay, just type that in. Now I'm just going to go back and check mine really quick. Save the receipt area, range A18 through F37. I want to make absolutely sure that's correct as a PDF file. When you get this in there and it's all correct, go ahead and click the OK button. The workbook enters macro record mode. The record macro button changes to the stop recording button, which also appears on the status bar. So you are in recording mode, so whatever you do, don't click on anything. See right there now, instead of saying record macro, it says stop recording, right? To record the PDF receipt macro, select the range A18 through F37. Please go slow so you know that you're getting the right thing. All right, slow down. A18 through F37. Here's A, here's 18, here's F, and here's 37. It's all of that yellow area. Okay, slow and accurate. On the ribbon, click the Page Layout tab. Okay. In the Page Setup group, click the Print Area button and then set Print Area. You've done this a million times. Print Area, set Print Area. Click it. Okay. Step number 4. In the Page Setup group, click the Dialog Box Launcher to open the Page Setup dialog box. Right there. Okay. Step number 5. In the Page Setup dialog box, click the Margins tab. Right there. Click the horizontally checked box to select it. Okay, what they mean is in the center page area, click the horizontally checked box to center this on the page horizontally. Got it? Then go ahead and click OK. Now the receipt will be centered on the page. I can't stop and show you anything because I'm recording a macro, but take my word for it, it works. Step number 6. On the ribbon, click the File tab. Okay, File. Now click Export. Export. On the export screen, make sure the Create PDF/XPS document is selected. That's this right here. Make sure this is selected. Okay. Then click Create PDF. Right here. Go ahead and click it. All right. The Publish as PDF or XPS dialog box open, which is similar to the Save as dialog box. In the file name box right here, it's already selected for you. Go ahead and type receipt. Okay. Make sure the folder is set to the location where you always save your work. You know mine is going to be different than yours. Make sure it's set to go to your flash drive. If it's not, take care of that right now. Now, click Publish. All right, there it is. The receipt is saved as a PDF file and automatically opens in a PDF reader such as Windows Reader, Adobe, or Adobe Acrobat, depending on which one you have on your computer. Okay, go ahead and turn the page. This step cannot be, you can't skip it. And if you make a mistake later and you keep trying the macro over and over, you always have to close this darn PDF file or it'll make your homework fail. So step number 1, close the PDF file. I think you can do that. You should now see the receipt worksheet in Winter Activities Workbook. Step number 12, on the Page Layout tab in the Page Setup group, click the Print Area button and then click Clear Print Area. So we're on Page Layout, we're going back to Print Area, and we're going to go Clear Print Area. Okay. Step number 13, in the Page Setup group, click the Dialog Box Launcher to open the Page Setup dialog box. Go to your Margins tab and remove the check mark from Center on Page horizontally. And then click OK. In the Receipts worksheet, click cell A1. Okay. Now you've completed all of the steps in the PDF receipt macro. Turn off the macro recorder. Step number 15. Click the Stop Recording button right now. Okay? So, I can't see my Stop Recording button because of my darn software that's covering it. There we go, I got it. Right there. Do you see it? Okay, so we click Stop Recording. And our macro recorder turned off. I'm going to check my developer tab, and you see how it says record macro? That shows me I turned it off. So you can breathe. It's no longer recording every single thing you do. Okay? Good job. Now, let's see if it worked. On page 436, read about running a macro. Are you ready? On the ribbon, click the developer tab, right there. In the code group, click the macros button, which is right here. The the macro dialog box opens, listing all the macros in the open workbooks. Well, we only have one, so that kind of narrows it down. Verify that PDF receipt is selected in the macro name box and then click the Run button. All right, so it's selected, it's blue, and we're going to hit Run. Okay, cross your fingers. And there it goes. It did it all, didn't it? It turned around, opened this right up, it created the PDF file, it's centered, it's all set. It worked exactly like it was supposed to. Let me just take that down. Okay, look at that. There it is. Good job. Now, please do not forget this step. I cannot emphasize to you how important it is. Close that darn PDF file. Okay? Are you ready? Let's try it again. This time we're going to try using the keyboard command we make, which was Control-R, right? So press your Control key and your R, and boom, there it goes. It works, doesn't it? All right, excellent job. Go ahead and close that PDF reader. Okay? All right, that's the end of this video, and you're ready to move on.